2 weeks we don't. So, so yeah, we'll mute or you'll hear.
Okay. And we're live, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Thank you to Andy and Nate for coming on. They're going to tell us about their brand new treasure hunt. Legend has it. Give me a second to do a couple of things. And yeah, today is March 15th. It is Thursday night. So the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park has a brand new ride called Legend Has It. And the two creators are here with us today. Thanks for being with us, Andy and Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, sorry. I had my setup is a little off. Hi, everybody. I'm K-Pro. Thumbs up, guys. New treasure hunt coming out. We're going to have them introduce themselves. But in case you knew about that big ride that's been shut down for a little bit, we do have some additional breaking news that we will be doing after we talk about this brand new hunt that we're excited about. So we're going to be getting on a new ride, but we're going to be talking about the other ride and what news we have with the other ride. So just know we have two things going on tonight. We're going to be giving Andy and Nate as much time as they would like to discuss their hunt, but then we are going to roll into a couple of things that have happened. I have been out all day at a poker tournament. I don't know what's all hit the press, hit the Facebooks, hit everywhere. I will update you on that, but let's do the important things first, which is, hi, Andy and Nate. Tell us about yourself and your hunt.
Well, hi. First of all, a quick apology to everyone that I don't have video capabilities right now. So instead, you get to stare at my Lego man.
And actually on YouTube, they actually don't see the picture, unfortunately. So if you guys hear that disembodied voice, that is Nate joining us on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and his brother, Andy. Yeah, continue, Nate.
Well, I guess as a quick introduction, and I'm sure Andy will kind of fill in the gaps. We actually got into Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt kind of at the end of the game. I live in New Mexico, and when I got here, I began hearing about Forrest Fenn. Who is this Forrest Fenn? And it was actually a few years before I finally decided to look him up and was hooked. This was then in 2019, and I shared it with my daughter, who was at the time 7, and together we kind of started working on the clues, and it was a lot of fun. And we did try to look around some areas, but then I suppose the interest waned a little bit until 2020, and then Andy independently found Forrest Fenn and told me about him.
Yeah, I was really late to the game.
Yeah, that was too bad. Because then that reignited, the whole dream, the whole thrill of the chase again. And so we started into it, but it was only a few weeks later than that it was found.
So then Andy's the reason that Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt ended. Is that what I just heard? Just kidding, guys. Okay, so you guys have been into it.
I'm not going to accept that responsibility.
It's okay. We'll blame you anyway. You're on YouTube now. So did you guys have softs? Did you go boots on the ground, either of you? Or was it more you were still in? I mean, Mike was in it like 10 years and he never went boots on the ground. Just kidding, honey. How many times did you guys go out, or did you have a solution? And if it was, what state were you in?
Well, being in New Mexico, I
You're
went
biased.
with I'm obviously biased. In fact, not far from Santa Fe. So the amount of travel needed to kind of get to the required area wasn't that great. And so we do a lot of camping, and my daughter and I definitely tried to find, where the warm waters halt and all that sort of stuff, the good stuff. But after only one or two of these, that's that. And as far as boots on the ground, that's as far as we got. Although I feel like Andy and I, we had some pretty good ideas right up until the time it was discovered.
Yeah.
So,
and like I said, I'd only started into it for a couple of weeks when And I was looking into the southwestern portion of Colorado, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Andy,
Yeah,
did you just
there
change
is a
that one?
slight echo.
There's an echo now.
In it. Test 1 2.
Test 1 2.
Yeah,
No,
Nate,
that's still
it might be you. If you could mute, well, let's see if we can work it out that way. Okay, go ahead, Andy. Yeah, I think that was it. Okay, we're good.
Now it's switched. It was Andy earlier.
Right.
And,
They're brothers, you know, it's interchangeable.
oh, and someone just noticed there was a cactus where Jack met with Forrest. There's a cactus in the back of Andy's
What are we trying
background.
to say?
I don't know. This is breaking news, guys. And they have a treasure hunt. I wonder. So tell us about that. Is it a treasure box that used to be a part of the Forrest Fenn hunt? What is it? Where is it? Is it boots on the ground? Is it virtual? Tell us like the Reader's Digest version of what it is.
Okay, so this all began first off with Jack, finding the treasure, Forrest Fenn's treasure, right? It was, we heard the news, and even though we'd only been in it for a short while, we felt gut punched, right? We had that thrill of the chase it's just so strong. It really pulls you in, and it's so exciting. And then when it was over, it was just super let down. And it was only 2 days later that we decided, okay, you know what? We're done moping around. We want this back. How do we get this back? And we decided the only way to do that was to start a treasure hunt of our own. So that's where we started. We started brainstorming and trying to figure out how could we make this work. We ourselves don't have millions of dollars that we can just throw out in a desert somewhere. So we thought it would be an interesting idea to take a different approach that we thought was rather unique, and instead have it be crowdfunded.
So, and to be clear, you guys have plans to do multiple hunts all over the U.S. It's just the first one that you've started is in Arizona, correct?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. This is our first one that we've done. We have 2 others in the works at the moment.
Interesting.
So the big questions that everybody asks is, it sounds like it's actual boots on the ground. It's not going to be virtual. That's the first thing, right? So it's in Arizona. State is. Do you refine it any more than that, or you just say it's in the state borders?
We are going to take a page out of Forrest Fenn's book, and we're not giving any additional clues other than what is contained within the legend that we have written up.
Nice.
Now, that being said, there is a decent portion that can be done sitting at home on your computer. But at some point, and that's up to you to decide when, you will have to have boots on the ground because of the way that this functions, how we actually go about proving that somebody has arrived at the correct location.
Oh, and Billy Shaw just says my home state. So everybody who's in Arizona or the surrounding area, you should jump on this right now.
And Billy's the smartest man on earth because he solved my treasure hunt.
One of our treasure hunts.
Yeah. So that makes, so now you say so is there a proxy item, or is there a cache? Is there, and how much are we talking?
So K-Pro has not looked at the website at all. So that's why I put a picture of a key right here, because you guys have a different idea. Your key is totally different. It's like a brand new idea. So I'll let you guys explain it.
Yeah, well, I'll let Nate start that.
Hey, before you start that, can we get over this super chat? And we have some ornery people in the room, and we're really sorry that their treasure hunt ended in like 3 hours. They're a little bitter, and so they make ornery comments, but we have to read them because they give us money to do it. Go ahead, Mike. And then Mike plays something ridiculous on the soundboard.
Oh, I don't even have the soundboard queued up. All right, just for Copper Dan. $5 super chat from Copper Dan. He says, according to K-Pro, the only thing faster than a Copper Dan treasure hunt is Mike. That's nice, Dan. Here, just for you, I'll play this one. Bye, Dan.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. So we set this up a little differently. As Andy was saying, we don't happen to have tons of gold and jewels to actually hideouts in the wilderness somewhere. And so this is a treasure hunt with the twist that you're not searching for hidden treasure. You're searching for a key to the treasure. And this key is an object that the clues will guide you towards this object. And once you find it, you'll have to take a picture of it, send that picture to us so that we can verify that yes, in fact, you have found this key. And at that point, we can send you the full reward.
And what's very interesting is the key that you two have decided to use is something. Again, you got a mute. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. The key you guys have decided to use is something in the location out in nature. It could be a boulder. It could be a tree. It could be a cactus. It's not a proxy item. And everybody in the treasure hunting amusement park, they know the controversy we had recently with a treasure hunt where the proxy item was gone. So there's this solution that you guys have come up with. The proxy item is not removable. I'll let you guys explain. It's pretty cool idea.
That's correct. Yeah. We were coming up against the problem that many people have is, well, what if somebody happens to stumble upon it and they take it not knowing what it was there for, and everybody that was searching for it, they get there and they realize it's gone, and then what? You get this big controversy like we had with that other hunt you were just talking about. We didn't want that. We had to come up with some solution, some way to prove that a person had indeed arrived at the correct location without having a physical object or some sort of a geofencing or anything like that. And the solution that we came up with was using a natural object that was already there. It has to be permanent, so not necessarily a tree because there might be a forest fire, but think of something like a boulder, right? There's plenty of boulders around. Mm-hmm. A large boulder, too big to be taken, too big to be concealed or destroyed. It's there. You're not going to move it. So what we do is we take a picture of this boulder with enough of the image surrounding it so that you can positively identify that, yes, this is the correct location. So we could even say like maybe this cactus here,
mm-hmm.
It's not, imagine this cactus is a boulder. We send you this picture that's behind me with the cactus removed from it. And when you get there, you can line it up, say, yep, that's the right spot. You take that picture with the cactus in there, you send it off to us, and we can compare the two, the original and the one you send us. And if it's correct, then that is the key, and you have unlocked the treasure. And we send it all over to you in your bank account right away. You don't have to go find some sort of a gold vendor, or you don't have to go pawn it off or sell it back to the government for a fee. You get everything right away.
So
I have a million questions, but let's Mike go first. Because this is like a big twist. I like it, but of course, I'm thinking of the loopholes, the scoundrels in this hunt like me. I have some questions, but Mike, you go first.
Well, we did get a super chat from Casey Maw. Thank you for the super chat. He says, I've been working on Legend Has It since it was launched. It's a fun one to work on. So the first question, I know, K-Pro, you're going to ask, but what is it to buy in? What does the treasure hunt cost? And what is the current prize pool at? And how does the prize pool work?
Okay.
Sure, I can take that.
All right.
So we launched our first hunt 2 weeks ago, and the current value is This gets a little tricky. There is a preparation period as well, and I'll go ahead and explain that real quick because it'll clear up a lot of things. So one of the things that we worried about was that people would begin hunting for this without actually contributing to the pot, to the reward, right? It's crowdsourced, so it grows. The treasure grows as people join. But if someone were to try to solve this without contributing anything, and then only after finding it quickly joining and then running off with the reward, we felt that was unethical. We didn't like that. And so what we did is we came up with what we call a preparation period. It's 3 weeks long. So after you join, as soon as you join, you enter your preparation period, the beginning of these 3 weeks. And during those 3 weeks, you're not eligible to win the reward. As soon as the 3 weeks are done, then absolutely send us the key and you'll get it. But not until you're outside of your preparation period. And the idea is that if you did try to cheat the system and not contribute until after you find it, Well, now you're stuck. You're sitting on the answer for 3 weeks. During that time, anybody could find it and take it from beneath you. And so we're hoping that that risk is great enough to prevent people from trying to cheat in that way. So as a result, when you first contribute to join, that amount doesn't immediately go into the treasure chest. Because, what if you're in the preparation period and someone else finds it? We also feel that's not really fair. You didn't even have a chance yet. You contributed, but you didn't have a chance to win it. And so instead of going straight to the pot, to the treasure chest, your initial contribution goes into what we were calling the pending increase. It sits in this other pool waiting to go into the treasure chest. It'll go into the treasure chest as soon as you're able to win, as soon as you're outside the preparation period. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and please mute. There you go. Thank you. I was just going to say, so for example, I bought in today to the treasure hunt. It's $40. Paid the $40. I downloaded the PDF, but I cannot actually try and win for 3 weeks. I'm kind of in a holding status or a preparatory period. Is that what you call it? For 3 weeks. So even if I go out to Arizona tomorrow and I find a location, I've got to wait for that 3 week period to end before I can solve it. And the reason you're doing that, as you explained, is if somebody finds the location first, they don't want to just be able to buy in and then win. You've got to participate. You got to buy in and then wait your 3 weeks in order to win. Correct. Now that $40 that I bought in, it will not go into the prize pool until after that 3 weeks is over as well. Correct.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting idea. You guys have thought it through, because that's an interesting way to try and prevent somebody who maybe the thing was shared with somebody and they find it and they're just going to buy in and just win. That, that's interesting. I like it. I like how you guys.
Okay, but wait, now let me ask a question, because I'm a scoundrel and I know Casey Ma, and I might have just bought in today, but I figured it out within a day, because it's much like Copper Dan's hunt that you're going to solve within an hour. And so I solved it. So I'm going to go to KC and say, let's not wait 3 weeks. I'll share with you. I could do that, right? Because you can't get a loophole there's loopholes to everything. So you've combated the major issue, but the social person that has met thousands of searchers, I might be able to find somebody that kind of gets me in early, but then I have to share half the booty, because KC's going to go, hey, sure, I'll do it as long as you share half. So there's an incentive. Don't cheat, just buy in. It's only $40. Come on, guys.
I think you've answered your own question there. Exactly.
I came full circle.
You
guys are ahead of me.
Once it's out, we physically cannot control electronic information once it's out. So it's out there, right? Anybody can get a hold of it if you know someone. Now, we would ask that you don't, that if you want to participate, please contribute, because your contribution, if you win, it's just coming right back to you. But it's how the whole thing works. If you contribute to it, the treasure chest value just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And there's really no limit to it.
I like that.
So
let me ask the big question that I have in my mind. So I can figure out on Google Earth how to bring up that picture right behind you, or that location right behind you. Do I actually have to go boots on the ground, or can the picture be from Google Earth, or any of the other?
Here's a good idea. Is a picture of your key on Google Earth somewhere? Have you guys thought of that?
We have thought of that, and no, you will never find an image that can be gleaned from the internet somewhere. It's in a remote enough location. It's a small enough object that the satellites just they plain don't have the resolution required to be able to pick up an object of that size with any sort of clarity.
Okay, I have a couple of comments from the chat. Casey Moss says, me? Never. Well, maybe. Okay, Casey, let's talk. Secondly, only $40. Can I borrow $40? 3D bronze. Think about the Forrest Fenn hunt. That to get the book, and it seems like you might need the book. There's been some that are much higher than that. I don't think $40 is as expensive. I do get your point, though. Some people are like, no, it shouldn't even have a dollar figure. Right. There needs to be a business model, guys. This is actually a very different business model than I've seen. The 3 week period, I'm very interested in how it works out, because it seems like you may have overcome the issue. I want to see human behavior and how they get around it. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about a poem? Am I going to read a long book? Am I looking at pictures? What is the legend?
Sure. Yeah, we learned early on that unlike Forrest Fenn, we aren't poets. And so it's written in plain prose. That said, it's a story that we made up. It's a historical fiction. So
It's a legend, right?
It's a legend. Yeah. And all of our future hunts will kind of follow the same format where we invent a legend that embedded in this legend are all the necessary clues that would take you to the key. In this one, our first hunt, which takes place in Arizona, the legend partially is readable on our store, on our website. So if you want to get a taste of it, you can go ahead and go to legendhasit.net, head to the store, and you can see part of it there. But it takes place in the in the Wild West, and it was a long and difficult effort on our part to write this legend, because we're balancing many things. On the one hand, we don't want it to be so simple that you can solve it in an hour, right? On the other, we were hoping that it wouldn't quite take 10 years like Forrest Fenn's either. We were kind of hoping to strike a balance. And at the same time, we wanted a product that it was at least interesting to read, right? Engaging the reader in some way. And so we dedicated several months just to writing this legend and refining it, and we're hoping at least that we've attained our goals.
Now, is it just you two, or do you have kind of a creative team working together to create the story?
It's just us two. We realize that Andy and I, we have the incentive to keep our lips sealed, but as much as other people want to help us, they don't have quite the same incentive as we do, and so as a result, we're keeping it just he and I.
Okay, so two can keep a secret when they're brothers. So
when you have the same incentive?
Yeah, I was
right?
going to say,
we have every incentive. Yeah, we have every incentive in the world to not blab. But if we were to bring somebody else in, they would have the opposite incentive. In fact, they would have every incentive to work with somebody so that they could get part of the prize without having to work for it.
Well, so is there any outside knowledge that's needed, or is it all fiction? Is there things that you should verify within the story? Like if there's a historical fact wrong, that sort of thing, what does that look like?
So, okay, this was one of our goals with this, and I'm glad you asked that. We wanted everything to be as historically accurate as possible. So in this legend, there is a character by the name of Thomas Clark. Thomas Clark himself is an entirely fictitious individual. However, had he existed, everything within this legend would have been entirely possible. It is historically accurate, though it is fiction. And
okay, so
we
I get
worked
that
really
part.
hard
Now,
to make sure that everything was accurate.
Okay, so is there any specialized knowledge or outside knowledge needed, or is everything self-encompassing in this story? Like if you have the story, you can figure it out, that's all you need, or are you going to need the internet, other knowledge, that sort of thing?
You would definitely have to research on the internet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So like we said earlier, at the beginning, you don't need to have boots on the ground right at the beginning. Unlike with Forrest Fenn, where you had to know exactly where the war marauders halt, and then you have to look for physical objects after that. In this case, we're giving you the opportunity to work some of it out from home. At some point, you will need to have boots on the ground, obviously, because you need to be able to take that photo, right? You have to be there at that location. So at some point, as you're solving it, you will need to arrive there, but there's a decent amount that you can solve from home.
Okay, let me just say legendhasit.net. A lot of people are like, where can I buy in? How does this work? Legendhasit.net is where you will get all the information. Also, down below in the description, they have a Twitter, they have an Instagram, they have a Facebook, they have all the social medias on the internets that you guys need in order to figure out what is going on. We got 2 super chats. 3D Bronze with a super chat says, legend has it. Someone will need to tell me who soon. That means 3D Bronze has another treasure hunt coming on his website, which is awesome. Thank you, 3D Bronze. Let us know when it is released. And we got a $45 super chat from Billy Shaw Jr. And he says, use this to give away an entry to Legend Has It. So that is awesome, hey, Billy. Thank you. And we're going to do that.
I'm going to give a shout out to Billy Shaw too. He was the very first one to buy in to one of our hunts.
That's great.
He was sitting there. There were a couple of people who were just sitting there ready to click that button as soon as it was available, and he beat them all out. He was the first one. Our boy Billy Shaw. He's a great guy.
That's awesome. Well, he'll probably find it. He's a pretty smart guy. Now, how long has the treasure hunt been active?
It has been active now for 2 weeks.
And Billy, you haven't found it? What's the holdup?
Wait, aren't they on a 3-week hold, or can they solve it right now, or no, they can't?
That's a good point, K-Pro. So for the people who bought in on day 1, they have to wait the 3 weeks in order to submit an answer. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Nate.
Oh, yeah. I was just say, we call it a preparation period because that's the time for you to prepare. You can absolutely start working on it. You can even solve it. It's just that you won't be eligible for the reward until after the 3 weeks. We're hoping that these 3 weeks line up well with how long it may take someone to dig into it, study the history, start putting ideas together, be arrange travel plans. All that takes time. And so we're hoping that this preparation period would be a period of time in which you wouldn't be able to, you're not ready to find it anyway. You're preparing. But yes, you absolutely feel free to work on it and do everything you can to find it. As soon as that 3 weeks is up, submit the key if you think you found it.
I was going to say, Bobby Dunbar is in the room, and he solves treasure hunts within minutes. And he says, I haven't gotten it cracked yet. So right there is a testament that it's not going to be solved as fast as Copper Dan's, which was like 9 minutes. But here's a question I have for you. I don't know if you know, there's a group of awesome treasure hunters that get together on Zoom. They kind of make the agreement everybody needs to buy in to be a part of it. And they're actually already asking in the room, oh, this could be the one that we all work on again, because it is amazing when you have 8, 9, 10, 12 different people with different, one's a musician, one's an engineer, one's a Mike IT guy, one's a ridiculous me. Everybody brings different facets, and it gets solved like much more quickly. We feel like that's why I think the group is just amazing. Is there any rules against that? What are your thoughts on that?
No. In fact, part of our goals with creating Legend Has It is we really wanted to encourage a community of treasure hunters. So if you want to collaborate and work on it together, by all means, go for it. I think that's a fantastic idea. We do ask that everybody who's participating pays in, right? And it contributes to the general pot so that everybody can benefit and nobody's being a freeloader, right? But yeah, absolutely. If you want to do that, we encourage it. And I think now is a good opportunity for us to announce that we will be giving away a hunt for free. Billy Shaw, he beat us to the punch, I guess, but but we've received a couple of orders already just being here on this video.
Awesome.
But everybody who contributes to the pot or purchases a gift card or purchases the hunt, every purchase is being entered into a giveaway today. And tomorrow we will select a winner, and whoever that winner is will get a free gift card to gift to a friend so that you and your friend can work on it together.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you. That's great. So do they have until midnight tonight in order to buy in?
Until midnight tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Any and all purchases that we receive today, it's going to be an entry into it. We've got a couple of them going on already. You guys bought in earlier today, so you're in the running as well.
And if we get it, obviously we're going to give it away. So this is how it's going to work with Billy Shaw's giveaway. You have to comment on this video, the one that we're in right now. Everybody comment on it. And at the end of Monday night show, we will use Comment Picker to pick a random person. But you got to be watching on Monday night show. You've got to be in the chat room to say, yes, that's me. All right. So comment on this video. We will randomly pick one of those comments, and that person we will buy into Legend Has It, legendhasit.net. So basically the recap, guys, Andy and Nate are brothers. They worked on the Forest Fen treasure hunt for about 2 hours before it ended. They're pretty pissed off at Jack. They decided to do their own treasure hunt. No, just kidding. But they have decided to pay it forward and do their own treasure hunt. Now, I'm assuming you guys add 500
Did you see
to the
what's
prize pool?
Did you see what's in? Let's talk about the prize pool in a second. Greg says, I know an 8th grade class that is doing this. They are too far away to have boots on the ground, but they're working on it as a class project.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
You get kids come up with the most amazing things, and maybe the kids could partner with someone who partners with someone that I don't know. I'm just saying, I love it when I hear about kids getting out there. D-Pro and Sam Lazars and Chris and Eric all went out on one, and they found one, boots on the ground clothing. It was awesome. So
that's really cool.
Coy Lothrop is that your class, Coy? Is that what you're saying? Coy actually won the Breakfast Tea and Bourbon treasure hunt, which was $50,000 a couple years ago, and he heard about it from our YouTube channel, which was awesome back then.
It wasn't a we. Didn't even know you back then.
Well, it was the Cowlazars channel back then. That's great. So if somebody who lives in Arizona is in the chat and wants to offer to be the boots on the ground person for this 8th grade classroom to kind of do recons and take pictures, that would be great too. If anybody out there would like to volunteer.
Yeah. But it is crowd funded, so if anybody who's participating, be generous and take part by contributing to the pot.
I can tell you the Zooms, they really police each other. It's like, no, they already put hashtag no freeloaders. There has been maybe a situation in the past where maybe somebody didn't buy in like maybe they should have, and they get ostracized pretty quick. So so tell us about the prize pool. What is it at did you contribute some, and how much even if there's a delay and stuff, give us like a ballpark of what we're talking about.
Yeah. So Andy and I, we contributed, we seeded the pot with $450. And we had some direct contributions that allowed it to rise to $530. And that's the value that's displayed right now on our store. The pending increase as of, well, I get before we started this video, the pending increase was just shy of 300. And we update that every day. So by the end of today or maybe early tomorrow morning, we will update that value so everyone can see exactly where we're at. And this this is very exciting. We grin ear to ear every time we chat with each other because this is just so much fun for us. And as Andy was saying at the beginning, this is. We wanted to thrill the chase back, and being able to help other people also get that thrill of the chase. We feel like $1 million. I wish we had $1 million to throw into it, but at least we feel like $1 million. I did want to mention one other thing. So we actually do hide a hidden coin next to the key. So there is actually still a coin out there. It's not what you need to get the reward, right? Taking the picture of the key is what you need, but we wanted a physical memento. We didn't want someone to show up at the key, take the picture, and then be like, well, okay, I'll walk home now, I guess. We wanted them to actually have something they could hold in their hands, put in their pockets and look at. So for each of these hunts, we're making custom coins and we're hiding them next to the key. And so that picture that we provide with the key hidden, we have a big arrow pointing to the exact location where the coin itself is hidden, so you can kind of look in there and get the coin out.
Did you see the super chat, Mike?
I did. We got another one from Copper Dan. He says, awesome treasure hunt model. consider adding PayPal as a payment form. Yeah, I use PayPal, but I have a PayPal debit card. So, it wants a credit card or debit card number. So that's what I put in. I don't know if you guys could add a PayPal button where people could just go direct from their PayPal account. So I had a couple. So that's awesome. You guys have a custom coin that is in the general area. So if you find the coin, the key is very nearby. You're in the right location. So it's kind of a confirmer. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. The coin itself is a souvenir. It doesn't lend any proof whether or not that you were there. The key itself, that photo, is the proof. But the coin, we thought, you got to have something to take back with you. You got to have something to show your friends, like, look what I found. Like, this was it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's something that's fun. And so we are hiding it there. And the coin, the hidden location of the coin is visible in the photo with the key. So if you found the coin, you're at the key, right?
Okay.
Chances are you're going to find the key first, and then you'll look at the photo and say, okay, it's right there, and you'll look in the little nook, and there you'll find it. So if it's not there, though, if some magpie took off with it or some little critter, we'll send you another one. It's fine.
And it doesn't mean the treasure hunt is over just because the coin is gone. Still take your picture, still send it in, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. It may be that somebody found it and has not completed their preparation period, and you can swoop in.
Interesting. Yeah, the preparation period is an interesting twist on treasure hunts for sure. So let me ask you a couple questions. The buy-in is 40.
It was a necessary evil.
You're right. Right? I agree.
But it was necessary to avoid people from cheating the system.
So
I just wonder if it's ever going to have an unintended it's going to be really interesting to watch it through. Exactly, because what you said, somebody goes out there, they're not through their period. Two can keep a secret. I mean, Jack's secrets are going everywhere. Somebody tells somebody they're through their 3-week period. They swoop in. Oh, now the person that actually solved it didn't get it because of the 3-week period. I don't know. This is going to be just interesting to watch how it plays through and any unintended consequence. But I like the idea of trying to put a safety net. I like that because too many people, shenanigans, they can do those sorts of things. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, a couple questions. So the buy-in is $40 for this hunt. How much of that $40 goes to the prize pool? So I got to imagine you guys are keeping some of it for running the hunt, right?
Yeah. So initially, all of it goes to the prize. So as of right now, we haven't taken a dime of it.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, so we want it to grow. Eventually, we will have to take a percentage so that we can start seeding the next hunt and covering our operational costs. But as of right now, 100% is going to the reward.
So if 10 people today buy in, that's $400. It's going to go to the prize pool. I mean, all of it is going to the prize pool.
Exactly.
Wow, that's huge. And that's a great way to start, to let people know you're legit. I mean, there's already somebody in the chat that said, so since everybody's buying in and you're using that money to give somebody, is this a lottery? And I know you guys address it on your frequently asked question page, but somebody in the chat already has that idea of what's going on here. So I'll let you guys.
That is a great question. And we ourselves had that question. In fact, we had our attorneys tell us, like, hey, you really need to find out if this is gambling. But no, it's not. Thankfully, we did a talk to the New Mexico Gaming Commission, whatever they're called. We told them exactly what we were doing, and they came back to us and they said, no, it's not gambling, even though it does check most of the boxes. The one that it doesn't check is that this has no factor of chance built into it. It's all sleuthing skills. If
Andy,
it was based on chance, then yeah, but there's no chance.
It's just a funny little thing. Mike and I met as we were doing a fundraiser for a searcher who had lost her home and business in the California wildfires. And we did it in New Mexico. And we didn't check with the New Mexico Gaming Board. And they sure did when we got up to $60,000, they cut some searcher turned us in, and we had to show that we didn't even take 1 penny. It actually cost us money, but it is important. It was funny. They laughed after. They said, "You guys did something so good. Just call us." It was a $20 like form and permit that we had to pull to do a raffle, because we called it a raffle because it was literally pick a ticket out of the bucket, and they had a video of it. But they're like, your intent was so good. So we have been approached by the New Mexico Gaming Board, and they're really, really nice. And they do say, just call us if you have questions, which I don't think the Nevada Gaming Board would be the same, but it's just, it's funny.
we had a great experience with them as well, but no, it is not gambling. We're okay. We're good on that.
So it's a game of skill. You've got to figure out the clues and travel there. There's no chance to it, in other words. Now, so what happens? I bought in today. I've got to wait 3 weeks. What if it's solved within those 3 weeks? So 1 week from now, when Billy Shaw Jr.'s prep period ends and he solves it, do I get my money back or not?
Yes, you have that option. We could say, either you can have your money back. We can send it back to you if you want. Or if we have our next hunt available, then we can say we can put that money in toward the next hunt, and your preparation period will roll over.
Oh, that's great.
This is so good. You guys have thought of everything. Okay, let me ask the important question, because now I'm like, okay, I want to go start working on it right now, even though I'm in the prep period. So I don't know if you guys saw, we did some shirts, and we did a Chaseopoly that talked about different kinds of searchers. We think of Mike as Codebreaker Charlie. He is a cipher, advanced Einstein knowledge. There's a Bobby Dunbar, a few of the other guys that are really into these advanced. I mean, we're talking astrophysics. It's crazy. There's Kitchen Sink Christie, or we called it Kevin on the game, but that's really me, that kind of is into imagination. I can throw a few ciphers, don't get too carried away. I'm not real smart. I just more am into like cleverness and riddles. And there's different types of searchers. Would you say, and you may not want to answer this, and that's your right, is there advanced scientific cipher knowledge that NASA would have to be contacted to be able to identify this, or is it more just riddles and that sort of thing? Do you want to give us kind of a night? Once you get one under your belt, we'll all know what the answers are. But for this first one, would someone like me even be interested, or do you need to be like advanced physics brain like Mike?
So our goal with this is that you can be able to solve this with your children if you want, right? I had such a good time working through Forrest Fenn's clues with my daughter, and she had brilliant ideas I didn't even think of, and we wanted to kind of mirror this. So no, you do not need to go get a PhD in order to solve the hunt. That said, we did want people to do extensive research into, in this case, the history. You will need to take great advantage of the internet, and you will need to learn a lot. And that's our goal. We want you to learn a lot and really get sucked into it. I mean, it was a fascinating time era. We want you sucked into it. But at the same time, we want people to be able to get outside eventually. And that's why the beginning, you can start solving at home. You have to do your research, you have to learn a lot, but you can start at home. But then eventually we want people outside, hiking, enjoying nature. That was our goal from the beginning. We really, really admired Forrest Fenn for his desire to get people outside. And we're taking a page out of his book. We want the same thing. So yes, I think you will both find it challenging and both equally capable in solving it.
Okay, it's kind of ironic you said that about PhDs, because I have the PhD, but Mike is much, much smarter than I am. But is it in, so let's talk about, because of the Forrest Fenn hunt, and people are in the room are saying, this is awesome. You guys have thought of everything. That is what I want to hear. I like that. These are good things.
Well, if they're liking it, go to our website.
Go buy in.
Pay in and buy in, and
right.
Maybe you can get a free hunt. Remember, we're going to give away a free one we're putting everybody into a raffle today, right? To get a free
But
hunt.
you got to buy in today, everybody, by
You
midnight
gotta buy in
today.
before midnight today. And we've got
So let's talk about
got the
Forest
orders
Fen,
coming
though.
in.
So the Forest Fen hunt, we had some searchers that got a little carried away. I don't probably expect that, but let's put the disclaimer out. It's not in a dangerous location. Is
No.
it not under so let's
Private
talk a little bit
property,
about that
yeah.
piece.
It is not in anywhere where you're going to have to do anything dangerous, right?
Any laws, probably not. If you're breaking a law, you're probably not on the right solution, right?
If you're breaking a law, you automatically disqualify yourself from being able to win the prize. It will always be in public land. You will never need to go through, enter, or vandalize any sort of private property, period.
Do you have to pay to get into where this location might be? Is there any fee, like a park or whatever it may be? Do you have to pay to get in?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Ah, okay, interesting. So it could be. In other words, maybe
it very well could be. You know,
okay.
And we have other hunts in mind, and they can be anywhere. It's just the criteria is public property, but you will never have to vandalize anything. Like you're not going to be digging because it's just taking a picture, right?
Yeah, that's another good thing that you guys came up with is you solve the digging problem. There's nothing to dig. There's nothing to cover. You'll see it.
We completely circumvented that whole legal battle right there. So if Jack had been doing our hunt, he wouldn't have to hide anything.
Right. But there could have been a
come out and tell everybody where
it
was if he wanted to. There'd be no legal issues, period, because no one's going to own a photograph of a boulder or a stream or something like that.
So Debbie Jensen asked a very interesting question because this came up on Johnny's hunt. Both the things you're saying, was it something that you had to buy into? And he said no, and it ended up being yes. So there's a little controversy, but he's learning over time with his team, and so we don't hold him against him. Johnny's Treasure Quest is doing some good things, but is it accessible 24/7, or can you answer that? Like, if it's in a park, sometimes parks
closing hours,
the law to go in at certain times. Is it accessible 24/7?
That's another question I can't answer.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So you guys both have children, I'm assuming. So would you say this is a family-friendly hunt? Wherever this location is, you're able to go with your kids to try and find it? I guess it depends on the ages of the kids, but I think you know what I'm asking, right? It's not like a rough 8-hour hike. Or is it?
Again, our criteria was we wanted this to be something you could work on with your kids. I'm not sure if I would take a toddler.
Right.
That might be a little, but I would feel absolutely comfortable taking, my daughter along. She's 9 now.
Okay.
I feel absolutely comfortable with her coming along. Again, it's you don't have to do anything dangerous. And we actually do have some people have joined just so that they could work on it as a family. They wanted something to do as a family during this, pandemic time. And I'm not even sure if they have plans to go into Arizona, but they're working on it together. And I think that's fantastic.
Me and K-Pro can make a trip. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's not that far to get over to Arizona, depending on where in Arizona. So it's really awesome that you guys are contributing the entire buy-in to the prize pool. And what have me and K-Pro always said, everybody, support treasure hunt creators, and that these guys are actually putting all the money in on their first hunt. It's totally okay to make a profit. They have expenses, they have costs, they have families. But for this one, at least until they let us know otherwise, all of it's going to go. So if we could get 20 people to buy in today, that's $800 that would go to the prize pool. And I'm assuming you guys started it with 500. Did you put in your own 500 to start the prize?
Yeah, they said 450, right? That's
450. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yes. We've everything. When we started up, everything was on our own dime. We didn't ask for money from anybody. This is purely a labor of love right now, because it is so exciting. It was so exciting creating the legend, and every time we've got somebody else that's buying in, that's telling us about their experiences and working on it with their kids or whatever, that is incredibly rewarding, and we want to continue that. And it is a business. We do want to be making money on it, But that's
Right.
later on, right? We're just starting out right now. We just want to get the idea out. We want people to be participating. We're putting everything we can into the treasure chest value, and when we can, we'll start taking some of that, saving it to seed the treasure chest in the next hunt, right?
Got it.
You know,
That's cool. That's exactly, because you have to build the reputation. Once you have some hunts that really under your belt, people are like, God, that was cool. I didn't see it that way, or that. So that's one of my questions is, I think the hardest thing in the world, and I'm going to poke fun at Copper Dam, but it happened to me as well when Billy Shaw and Casey Maw and somebody else, they teamed up and they cracked one of the hunts that I thought, when Mike and I were, I'm like, oh, they're going to take 6 months. Yeah, it was like 6 hours. And Copper Dan's, I think, again, 9 minutes. So how long do you think, outside the waiting period, do you think this is going to be, if you were just to guess, is it going to be maybe a week or two? Is it going to be a month or two? You already said it's not going to be 10 years. Would you be surprised if it goes over a year? Like, where are you thinking, just if you were to guess time wise? It's the hardest question ever, because it does vary, because people's minds are incredible.
And along with that, is there an end date? Let's say a year from now, it hasn't been solved. Would you guys consider putting an end date on it or no?
Yeah. So for the first question, I guess our informal target was about 6 months, maybe approaching a year. That is kind of where we were hoping it would land, in terms of how long it would take to get this thing solved. Again, Andy and I, unfortunately, we think very similarly. We're cut from the same cloth. So the way we think about a problem could be totally different from the way someone else does. And so we constantly kept trying to check our own thought processes. It might be hard for us. It might be trivial for someone else. And so we tried really hard to approach it from many different directions. But again, informally, our target was somewhere in that 6 to 12 month range. And I guess we'll see if that happens. And no, we're not planning on having an end date. If it takes longer, many years, then so be it. That just means the pot will keep growing and growing.
Right.
Will there ever be a time that you put out clues to say, like, after a year, we're going to give you guys a clue because you really suck at this? Or, you would say it much nicer in the PR standpoint. But like, guys, you're missing the boat. Like, no, it's not that. Like, answer some basic questions or whatever that looks like. Sometimes there's, like we said, after 1 month, we were going to give a clue. And then after 6 months, some of the originators do that. Do you guys have any plans of doing the clues, because you guys suck and you're not figuring it out? Or no, you're just on your own?
We have absolute faith that anybody and everybody has the brains to be able to solve this. So in answer to your question, no, we don't have any plans to be doing that, because we do know that it is perfectly solvable as is, and is not going to take exorbitant efforts like finding your rocket scientist, right? And whatnot. It's, people can do this. You're going to have to be creative, right? We put a lot of thought into this, and half of our thought process went purely into, let's just make this fun. Let's make this interesting. Let's force them to learn the history of this area or this individual, and see what kind of a rich history Arizona has, and then get to explore the beautiful countryside. I mean, look at this picture behind me. It's beautiful. The other half of all of the efforts that we put into it was trying to make it enigmatic, difficult, confusing, but solvable. And that was the hardest part, really, was doing that and putting it in such a way that, people can do this. You have to be a little bit creative. Between the two of us, Nate and I have 3 master's degrees, including, mathematics and aerospace engineering. So we put a lot of thought into this.
Interesting. Let's look for some numbers in this PDF then, which I've not actually read over yet. But so we have Bobby Dunbar in the chat, and Bobby teaches a master class on treasure hunting and ciphers and codes. And I call him our technical advisor, because if there's a technicality on a treasure hunt where he can win, he'll find it. So he has a question for you both. And that question is, if he downloads your PDFs, he figures out the general area. If he gets online and finds a picture that you guys don't think is available, but he finds it, does he have to, is a requirement of winning having to go boots on the ground? Or if he can come up with a picture of the key on the internet and sends it in, can he win? Or is a requirement you have to go boots on the ground and take the picture yourself?
The requirement is you have to have boots on the ground. The question is, can we enforce it, right? If you do find a picture of this key,
right,
how would we actually know that you weren't there? And
true.
with that in mind, we were very strategic in selecting the key. We think it extraordinarily improbable that you will find the picture of this object anywhere. Very, very, very unlikely.
Okay, well, that solves it. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for the answer. And thank you, Bobby, for the question. You do have to go boots on the ground, take the picture yourself of the key to submit it after your 3-week time period is up.
There's some people in the room that are saying the hardest part about this hunt is going to be the 3 weeks, because even though you're doing the preparation and what you're saying, if you think you found it, do you go? Do you wait? Like, if you think you've figured it out in a week, do you, if you're having to travel, do you go? But then maybe wait a week, because if you don't, then I don't know. This is really fast. I really like this as a new model that has not been out there, that's unique, that will have unintended consequences, because there are brilliant people out there that are going to figure out the best system for them. So are they going to partner? Are they going to do something different? I just find it fascinating. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Again, I'm going to reemphasize some things that we've been saying over and over again. The 3-week waiting period is a necessary evil, because there are bad characters out there who do not want to participate in the right way, right? Anybody who's working on the clues and trying to find the key, who hasn't contributed to the communal pot, we find it to be unethical. You're kind of cheating the system. You're cheating everybody out of it. Go solve the problems, but participate. And then the other thing is, we believe that it's going to take some people some time to solve these problems, to get their travel plans in order, to get out there. And it's been going for 2 weeks now. We've got Billy Shaw, who lives in Arizona. He's had boots on the ground already.
Yep.
He hasn't found it. It is difficult. We've got people who are trying their hardest trying to solve it. It's been 2 weeks and nobody has solved it yet. So, that 3-week period, even though you might be saying, oh, that 3 weeks, I don't want to wait 3 weeks, I think you'll be surprised that it may take you longer.
Well, the cool part is, like, if you, like, who said it? 3D Bronze was like, it's killing me 3 weeks. Well, we just bought in today, so it's killing us that our 3 weeks started today. If you bought in yesterday, you're 1 day ahead of us. And this gives the incentive. I like it, because you want to drive human behavior in a way that's positive for your product and outcome, which is no cheating and people buy in earlier. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the big question.
If you're at all interested in this, the earlier you buy in, the better it is for you, by a lot.
Okay, I'm going to talk to the teams you guys are talking about in a second. They want to get some rivalry going. I just want peace on earth. But some people want a Copper Dan versus K-Pro team. Mike, you better select the team wisely. But bigger question is, when the solution, or when the key is solved, are you going to put out a solution? Is his name going to be Jack? And how long until that comes out?
And can the finder remain anonymous? Because, some people, they just, that's a question a lot of people ask us on the different treasure hunts. If I find it, I want the money, but I don't want my name out there. What do you guys say to that?
We 100% agree with that. We are both very big privacy proponents. And as a result, we will not share with anybody who the actual winners will be. We will leave that up to them. If they want to be known, absolutely. They can announce it and we'd be happy to vouch for them. But if they want to remain anonymous, we are more than happy to let that be as well. That said, when it's solved, we will also leave it up to the winner to be able to publish their solve. We don't want to take that from them.
So how long? So you get notification. The picture is of a large boulder and it looks right. You've confirmed it. You talk to the person on Monday at noon. How long before you announce it? And is the solution going to be published?
Good question. As soon as the correct key is received, then we will close the hunt. It will no longer be available for purchase on our website. At that point, anybody who's still in their preparation period, will notify them. They can choose to either get their money refunded, or if there's another hunt available at the time, to have it roll over into the next one, including their preparation period, right? So they might not have to wait the full 3 weeks. It might just be a couple of days. But we're not going to.
And solution. Are you going to give the solution publicly after the fact? Let's say I find it.
Probably, I'm going to say that's still kind of up in the air, but I'm going to venture and say probably not, because it is not a physical treasure that you're getting, right? Which means that when somebody solves the puzzle, it is still available to be solved by anybody else who's still participating.
Your name is Jack. Are you kidding? I would like you to reconsider, if you wouldn't mind, or just consider maybe for future hunts. Jack is saying that he doesn't want to take the thrill away from people. It's not. It can. I won't go into, because Jack. Hi, Jack. We're okay, buddy. But that's tough.
I think, in my opinion, after you have a winner and you've paid the money, you should let an amount of time go by, whether it's 1 month or 6 months, and then publish a solution. Because if I've put hours and hours and days into this and somebody else gets it, I want to know how close I was. If I've got 5 boots on the ground to Arizona, was I even in the right area, part of the state? So I would give the winner, say, 6 months to do what they want to do with the solution, and for everybody else to continue to find the spot. But I would definitely publish a date that is on this day we will have the solution come out. Just my opinion. But that's the frustration we're going through with the thrill of the chase.
Yeah. Right now. I understand that. Yeah, and we very well could do something like that. We've also entertained the idea of having like a leaderboard.
Oh, that'd be
these
cool.
people have successfully solved it, and so maybe we'll say, like, after so many people, then we'll do it. But that part is up in the air still. This is our first hunt. We're kind of feeling that one out at the moment.
And that's fair. Okay. Let's get the elephant out of the room. Super chat just came in.
Copper Dan.
K-Pro versus Copper Dan, battle of the one-day hunt creators. I've had several go several months. So I'll bring it. I want a team, but you have to have bought in. I will destroy Copper Dan and his team. And Mike, you better be on my team and not on Copper Dan's team. We could destroy this, because the only thing that I'll care about is not the prize pool. It's destroying Copper Dan. And I know 3D Bronze where you're going. Let's bring it. I will be putting out emails later of you guys better pick the right team. I'll do it. But then we have private Zooms. Those people aren't involved. They're not allowed, and no secret missions and you guys stealing our ideas. No, we'll talk about this. This is something that's happening organically in the chat. They're wanting a team versus team. And as long as everybody buys in, hey, you could start a third team, but I'll do a team. Mike, help.
Well, and I'm open to doing a Zoom, everybody, a private Zoom that will not be on YouTube. It's just, but you've got to prove that you've paid for it. We're not going to do a Zoom unless you've actually got the PDF. So I will ask you a couple things about the PDF without giving anything away, because I did download it today. I haven't had time to digest it, but I did just kind of glance through it. So just so everybody knows, when you pay your $40, instantaneously, you get that email, or within 5 minutes, that has a picture of the location, and it's got the key blacked out. And that's what you're looking for. You've got to find where that location is in Arizona. You've got to go there, take a picture, and explain to them, take a picture of what the key is, and then explain it, I guess. It'll be obvious from the picture. The coin is in that picture somewhere. When you go to this spot, you're looking for the coin. But the story, the legend that you guys wrote, Some of that is blurred out still, and that's on purpose, correct? Is that part of the puzzle to try and decipher what those words are that are not very legible, would you say?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Nate. Yeah.
All right. Yes, that was very intentional. The premise of this legend is that some old journal pages were discovered in a bottle near the bank of the Yuma River, and as a result, there's water damage, and there were attempts made to clean up the pages, and as a result, most of it is legible, but still some remains illegible, and that was by design. Now, whether or not there are clues hidden inside the blurry text, we will let that. I will let you decide on that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I knew that was part of the puzzle, and it fits in with your legend perfectly. That, as you guys can see, this is an actual picture of the bottle that was retrieved with the message in it. But it's damaged, and you guys have said you had to restore it basically, so it's readable, and some of it's legible, and some of it's not. That's part of the puzzle. But I like it. I really like the idea that you guys have here.
Okay, we have some women stepping up saying maybe it's guys versus girls.
Guys versus girls.
We will figure this team thing out, but that'll be interesting. If we had a team, I guess it would go from the first person bought in their grace period or prep period. Ooh, do you see? There's some things happening here. This is going to get interesting because some people are picking teams. Somebody just asked for Bobby to create a team and go against the other two teams. Wait, who says I don't get Bobby? Screenshot order confirmation and keep a doc of team members.
They give you a confirmation email. You will get it. So to prove to us, if we do a Zoom where we work together, yes, that would be perfect. If you would forward that and blur out any credit card numbers or anything like that, that would prove that you've bought in. So that'd be perfect. Yeah.
People are buying in so they can be on a team. Okay, this is getting exciting.
This is fantastic. I'll tell you, I've got it pulled up on my phone right now. We've got a lot of orders coming in. So I'm just gonna guess from the number we've got here that the size of the treasure chest has increased now by about $500.
Wow, that's great.
So the overall prize now, as soon as everything is done pending, it's going to be it's around $1,300 now.
Wow, that's awesome. $1,300.
So it's starting to get up there, and if you want to participate, starting now is the best time to pitch in. So that
and how long until they get to the drawing? You said the drawing. So if they buy in today, then what? Tell me that again because I lost the
gift card you're going to give away.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'll repeat that. We are giving away a gift card to somebody who has purchased something from our website today. So up until midnight today, any purchases that we have received today, tomorrow we will go through those. We will randomly select one, and we will gift that person a gift card that they can give to a friend, and then they can work on that together. So that can be, you could be increasing your team right away,
And also,
and Copper Dan is now talking about getting his lawyer involved. Joel Lewicki, guess who married us, buddy? Joel Lewicki's on my side. You might live in Minnesota. He married me and Mike. He is so team K-Pro. It's ridiculous. And you take your lawyer. He's a minister more than a lawyer. Isn't that amazing? He's both. Anyway, no,
okay.
We're doing this. I'm getting excited about, I have to tell you, I've had such a hard time. Tumble Bear Load was the first one that I was starting to get excited about. I just like how you have this set up. I will say the prize pool is not hundreds of thousands. It's relatively close. I travel at a moment's notice, and everybody knows that for boots on the ground. I'm excited to get into something new, even though we've had some great Forest Fen content. it's over, guys. It's over. So this is something that I think, and especially if we get some rivalry going, exactly what you guys said about community. Community, like destroying Copper Dan. That's what I live for. And because we met him and it's fun. And that's what this is about, is having fun. So if you're new and we don't know you and you want to be on a team or just get into this and be a part of the community, we have Hint of Riches. I'm going to set up a sub forum on Hint of Riches for it.
Oh, that's right. We could
and
do a
then-
forum for people to discuss the clues. That's interesting. This may be solved quicker than you guys anticipate. We'll see. We'll never know.
Okay, and Copper Dan is super chatted yet again. You know, you talk too much. He knows.
And he says you have to read it. You have to read it, K-Pro.
Team Copper Dan. No, okay, I'll do it for you. Copper Dan. He has a team. There you go. I named the Copper Dan.
Copper
Its name
Dan.
is Copper Dan comes in second yet again. That's what I'm going to be saying. Yeah.
The sound clip's a private joke between us and Copper Dan from our World Series event. I don't know if you guys realize, but we do a yearly poker tournament for treasure hunters here in Vegas. So you guys are definitely invited in January of next year, when, especially if this thing has not been solved yet, to come out and visit everybody. So just to recap,
Right.
$40 buy-in, legendhasit.net. If you buy in before midnight tonight, you will be put in for a raffle. They are going to give away one gift card so you can buy in a friend or buy in somebody you want to work on it with you. Me and K-Pro are going to do one entry for somebody. Thank you to Billy Shaw Jr. The way you're going to do that is when this video is uploaded after we're live, you have to comment on it. You can't comment on it while we're live. I'm not talking about the live chat. When this is a video uploaded, you can then comment on the video. Monday night show, we will do a random comment picker from those comments, and that person will get a free buy-in. So you've got to comment on this video, and you also have to be watching Monday night and be in the chat so that when we pull your name, you can be like, yeah, it's me. I'm here. Go ahead, Kipper.
So the question came from John Miller, who we know and love. Can a contribution be made that can go directly to the prize pool without a waiting period?
If people want to donate outside of actually participating, is that the question?
I have no idea. I read it word for word from John. Knowing John, he probably would just want to contribute and make it go straight to the prize
Yeah.
pool. But let's say I don't want a 3-week waiting period. Can I pay $80 and get in right away? Andy, Nate?
You will still have to go through the 3-week preparation period. You're not going to get around that. However, if there is actually a way, and it's due to a technicality, there is a way you can get funds directly into the treasure chest without going through the pending pool. Purchases of gift cards, we are unable to refund those. And so as a result, as soon as a gift card is purchased, that amount goes immediately into the treasure chest itself, which is why the current value of the treasure chest is $530 and not $450, because we had 2 gift cards purchased, and so it went straight into that pot. But
interesting.
Okay. More to your point, you're not going to get around the 3-week preparation period. If you want to just donate, if you're not interested in solving it, buy a gift card that immediately goes into the treasure chest, and then you can give that gift card to a friend who is interested in solving it. So you're helping, 2 birds with 1 stone.
And how cool
So
is
the
that?
money then goes directly in, but you still, to solve it, have the 3-week waiting period. So you kind of have a win-win if you're trying to kind of donate, pay it forward type of thing, which I can tell you so many people do, like the John Millers of the world. He has sent us stuff to give to different people, and just there's some really good people. And I do have to say, even though I give them a hard time, and the Copper Dans of the world and the 3D Bronze of the world, there's so many that are treasure hunters, but they give as well. And Mike always says, I can't tell you how many hunts we bought into that we didn't have time to work on. We just want to help the treasure hunting community. We're a new market. The business models are being identified as we go. I actually do think you should be able to pay your rent and eat. So eventually, when this builds up, that's actually my biggest concern. Let's say this really takes off and you have 10,000 people in your hunt in 5 years. There's a lot of manual piece to your hunts right now. Have you thought about scalability? Oh, we're on Shark Tank. Have you thought about scalability and, the manual pieces of the refunds, the waiting period, the just all the pieces of how you have it set up, is that, and people emailing you the answer, and then do you answer them as well? I have two questions then. Do you answer them and tell them that they're wrong? Ooh, that's a bigger question than the other one, scalability. That's both. So 2 questions in one.
Yeah. Okay. Your scalability question first. We've just started up, so we are fully confident that we can have multiple hunts going simultaneously with just the 2 of us. Scaling up would require bringing in other people that are just as interested as we are in keeping their mouths shut. And as you know, that can be very difficult.
#family. Yeah,
right. Right. That can be very difficult. That's another problem that we ourselves need to solve. So the scalability, that's yet to be seen. And I'm sorry, what was your other question?
Let's see, scalability. Oh, so this happened on the U.S. Treasure Hunt or Great U.S. Treasure. I don't know. They all named them the same. How many times? So I think I know it. I'm going to just go out and start taking pictures of everything. How many times can you email a solution, and do you respond to them and say, no, you're incorrect? Because this happened on one of the hunts. The originator answered they were incorrect, but they were only partially incorrect, and it got really muddy really quick. Do you have a limit to like once per day? And do you respond, or no response means you're wrong?
Well, we provide you with an image upon purchase. And in this image, the key to the treasure chest is obscured, right? But everything surrounding it is perfectly visible. So you yourself will be able to determine if it's correct or not. We really don't need to have any part in that, because if the picture doesn't match up, then it's not going to match up. For example, in the key, the key photo that Mike has right now, he's probably looking at it. On one side, you see a cliff. On another side, you see that there's another boulder, and in the background, there's a different boulder. And if you're not seeing those objects in your photo, then you know yourself that you're incorrect.
So everybody, do not spam these guys with random photos. Okay, it's a picture of the Las Vegas Strip. It's a picture of it. No, don't do that. Right. You'll know if you're right.
And in fact, we did put it in our waiver, in our agreement, that if you do start spamming us with things, then you will be removed from eligibility.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you do reserve the right to kick anybody out of the hunt that maybe is not acting according to the rules. That type thing.
Anybody who's not acting in good faith, anybody who is breaking the rules, committing crimes in solving this or doing anything like that. If you're not a cool player, we can kick you out, and we'll let you know.
Well, okay. So this is a question that I take differently, so I'm glad Bobby's asking it. So does this mean if you have a team of 4, one of them buys in, your whole team can work on it? I didn't take it that way. I took it like 1 per household, not 1 per friend network. How do you guys? Like, a lot of us are friends. So if me and Copper Dan and Joe Lewicki and Mike wanted to buy in, I'm assuming 3 purchases need to be made, which me and Mike is 1 household. Joel and Dan, even though they're both from Minnesota, they're not the same family. That's 3 that should buy in. Or is it, hey, there's just 1 if 4 of you are working on it? Which way do you guys see that?
So there is kind of a practical aspect to this. There's no way that we can really enforce, each person needs to individually buy in. And in fact, we do address this on our frequently asked questions page. You can have 1 person buy in and work as a team with everyone else who hasn't. We can't prevent that. That said, whoever is the one that actually contributes, you have to really, really trust that person, because we have the ability to send the reward to only that person. So you have to trust them to share it with everyone else, if that makes sense.
It does. And when you buy in, you get a code in your email. Is that correct? And I'm assuming when you send in an answer, only the person with that code is going to get paid.
That is correct. Yes.
So let me frame it a little bit differently, because I see that you guys know PR, so you're not going to say anything a little bit maybe on the edge. I will. It is not your intent to have 4 different households working on it, and though you can't enforce it, that is not the essence of what you would like. You would like to see everyone buy in, because there's 4 different people that are getting the benefit of your product. This is helping the community prize pool, and really your intent, if you had a way to enforce it, would be, kind of 1 per household, even though there are ways around it, but you really shouldn't. And you've kind of put the 3-week period and a couple other things in a really good way into it, but you really should kind of 1 per household. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
I'm not even sure if that's exactly accurate. We are very happy for people to choose to approach us how they desire. Maybe $40 for a person is steep, or for a household is steep, but maybe split between 2 households it's not. We would not want to prevent them from enjoying it and participating in any way that they can. And so, we are more than happy to allow multiple households just to have one person contribute and then work on it together. If that's what you need to do, we are more than happy to let that happen. That said, this is the more the merrier situation, right? The more that contributions there are, the more that pot can grow for everyone. But yes, everyone has their freedom.
Like you guys more with that answer. Okay.
And I'll also say, this is it is a product that we want everybody to be able to enjoy this, right? We want to bring that thrill of the chase back. We want to bring it back. We want to encourage everybody to have that thrill, to enjoy it, but please don't take advantage of it unethically. If you find yourself questioning whether your participation in it is slightly unethical because you haven't contributed, please just contribute. It helps everybody and yourself, because if you win, you'll just end up getting that right back anyway. So
everybody should buy in that wants to work on it. But one question did come up. So Eric lives in Korea, but he has family all over Arizona. So he asked, if I buy it, can I have one of my family members go take the picture? In other words, and that applies to anybody. I buy it, but I can't go to Arizona. Can I have a proxy person travel and take the picture for me? Like you said, it's required to go boots on the ground, but does it have to be the person that buys in, or can I have somebody go boots on the ground for me and send me the picture? Now, I know you guys won't know. I guess there's no way for you to know that, but are you guys okay with it if somebody does it?
We're absolutely fine with that. Any arrangements you need to make to help you get there, absolutely fine. Again, we can only send the reward to the person who actually contributed
and has the code.
So,
right.
If you're doing this for someone else, you have to trust that person will be willing to share. So there's that trust aspect. But absolutely, we have no problem with that at all. And our intention is to grow. Like I said, we have 2 other hunts that we're working on right now. And as soon as travel restrictions are lifted, Andy and I both have tickets already to Europe, and that we're going to put one there as well. We've had requests. We've had requests from people to have one in India, Australia, Taiwan, some other places. We hope that we can grow to that scale. We don't know, but we absolutely hope to. But at a minimum, we'll have hunts in the U.S. and in Europe.
And that was a question I was going to ask, and that is, can you say what part of the U.S. another hunt might be done in? In other words, people on the East Coast may hear this and go, well, that's great, but I'm never going to Arizona. Can you say if maybe Northeast, Northwest, to give an idea of what a future hunt might be? So they can buy into this one to get an idea how it works, but it's an anticipation of one that might be in their state. Or can you give the state of what a future one might be? Like Nevada, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. Well, these 2 hunts that we have in the works right now, we're not gonna say where they are. Everyone is going to find out at the same time. We're not going to be
Okay, that's fair.
saying that kind of stuff. It's just because oftentimes we've got ideas for 6-7 different locations that we could go. We just don't know if we're ever going to actually be able to do one in that location. So we don't want to give any false hopes.
The minute you say it is like a written contract for your firstborn child.
Exactly.
So don't say it until, because things can always change, because you guys are going to learn so much. I know we learned so much from the first couple of hunts, or I should say I did. Mike's been doing them for a while.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, we'd never do that again. Or maybe you find out a state law or something weird or quirky. I totally get it. So it'll just be other places.
And it could be that that one of these two, or maybe both of these hunts that we have in mind, for some reason we can't do it in that location and we have to move it. And so we really honestly can't say that right now.
Or think positive. What if some huge sponsor comes to you and says, hey, I want to have it in this area, and I know you were thinking of that, but here's $100,000. And you go, oh, we announced California, but we now need to go to Washington, but you can't because you've already announced, because someone wants to hand you $100,000.
You don't want to lock yourselves in. That's true.
Now, I will say, because you brought it up, all right, you brought it up. Anybody who wants to sponsor, if you do want to hunt in an area and you're willing to fork over enough money to get us over into an area to cover the fees and to cover the seeding of the treasure chest, then we are open to that option. In fact, we have been looking into similar options that, I'm not going to go into more of that, but we have looked into similar options where if there is a company, an individual, an organization that is willing to go through that to provide a hunt, then we would be open to that option.
I'm thinking World Series of Fend next year, K-Pro. Let's work with these guys to do a treasure hunt in the surrounding Vegas area. Wouldn't that be awesome for all the treasure hunters that come out for that weekend?
And you know that guy that contacted us that wanted us to, like, I'll sponsor you, create the hunt kind of thing? There could be something happening.
There could be something. We'll talk down the road for sure.
Yeah, and because we actually go to these locations, we are hiking, we're camping around, we're doing all sorts of stuff. If you want us to help you with your products, we're also open to that as well. Send us a tent or a sleeping bag or whatever it is that you got.
So there's options. There's different things. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the entrepreneurial spirit. So as much as, you want to say, here's the path. I mean, God laughs when you try to make plans. Boom, you have to be able to pivot one way or another. So I can tell you, I knew very little of this hunt. I'm excited to take Copper Dan down. Hopefully when our team wins it, you guys are willing to come back and say, K-Pro's team is much better than Copper Dan as a treasure hunter ever for the rest of his life. I want you guys to say it, and that will be maybe our opening line of every single one of our shows. You don't know. Oh, Copper Dan's going crazy. Oh, no, that's Mike going. God.
No, Dan said email me if you seriously want to be in a group, and he put his email address. So I was giving him a hard time. That's all.
Okay, right. And you guys have my email address at kpro3@aol.com, and you get Cowlazars as well, because he doesn't have a choice. Happy wife, happy life.
Let's hope Billy Shaw doesn't end this thing in a week when his period is up. Let's hope he's not there. We'll see. Yeah. You just never know.
No, I'm looking at it right now. The current treasure chest value has doubled since we've been here. So it's
all right. Hang on. Breaking news, everybody.
Yeah. So it's now roughly around $1,600.
Wow, that's great.
It's not a trivial amount. That will cover your costs of travel plus some, right?
And we are going to get a gift card on Monday night show. So that's another $40 right there. Thank you to Billy Shaw. We will do the gift card route. But to be clear, I don't want to get in the weeds on the rules, but when I purchase that gift card and give it to somebody, that person who then uses it to buy in does have to wait for the 3 weeks. Yes. Even though you said the gift card goes directly to the prize pool, the person who uses it has to wait the 3 weeks.
Yes, exactly.
I just want to make sure that's clear, everybody. Okay.
And any and all purchases that we receive today until midnight are being entered into a pool. We will be randomly selecting one of them, and we will be gifting them a gift card that they can give to one of their friends. They can start their team, and they can work on this treasure hunt together.
And let me
And
ask you.
I know that Andy is more focusing on the prize pool, which is important to some of you. Some of you, it's more important to have bragging rights. Copper Dan, challenge on, my friend.
Uh-oh. All right, pick your team and let's all get on it. Okay, so let me ask you this. I created a coin for the Forest Fen hunt. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. Forest Fen Searcher coin. Copper Dan created a coin for his hunt. Now, I know you guys have a coin, which you are hiding in the location, but can people purchase that coin? Some people just like to collect treasure hunting coins. Do you guys have any plans to sell those in the future?
We haven't made those plans. We haven't made those plans. Oh. Go ahead, Nate.
I was just sorry. I was just gonna say, each coin is unique to a hunt, and as a result, we are only going to make one coin for each hunt. Again, as Andy mentioned earlier, if you get there and the coin happens to be gone for some reason, we'll happily make one and send it to you. But we don't anticipate that being an issue. I also wanted to circle back real quick and add one thing to what Andy was saying. All those who buy something from our store today by midnight, that would be midnight Pacific time. I realize that different people have different midnights. So we should probably clarify that.
3.5 hours from right now, everybody. It's 8:30 p.m. right now in Vegas Pacific time. So you have until midnight, 3.5 hours. Thank you for that clarification, Nate, because you definitely know that's definitely going to come up.
Oh boy, we now have Outcast Searcher in the room.
Uh-oh.
The other part of the Billy Casey Ma team that destroyed our treasure hunt. Yeah, I'm like, oh, so I heard something about a new treasure hunt. Outcast Searcher, yeah, it's getting big. Double prize pool tonight. I think some people are phoning friends, and this should get rather interesting. I'd like to see this up on Thor. I'd like to see this. Here's the cool part. It doubled tonight. So you could see over time, if we get more and more interested doing some PR work. Casey Ma, I think, said early on, the more we bring in, though, the more competition. That's the happy medium of we want it to get out. We want it to get bigger, but we don't want too big. And they're under a 3-week. We're already bought in. So you guys, why don't you wait just a couple days and then buy in? And no, I'm just kidding.
Buy it. You got a 3-week period. You got to buy in today, guys, so that the 3 weeks goes by. It'll be perfect. It's summertime. Perfect time to go in Arizona, boots on the ground. Let me ask you this. Does this hunt have to end before you start the next one? Or 6 months from now, could you gear up and start a second one somewhere else? Do you have plans one way or the other on that?
We are hoping to have another hunt ready to go. I'm going to say by June or July.
So this summer. Okay.
Yeah, this summer. If you go onto our store, you see that there's a treasure chest there that says coming summer 2021. That's our hope. Nate and I, we do have full-time jobs, right? And that's where we get our money. We're not making any money off of this right now. But yeah, we are really hoping, and we have some really cool ideas. I'm going to pat myself on the back on that one. We've got 2 hunts in the works. They're going to be cool.
All right. You guys heard it here first. Legendhasit.net. Down below in the description are the links to all their social media channels. They have a YouTube channel. They've got a video up that will kind of explain the hunt. I invite you guys to go subscribe to their YouTube channel. Definitely go to the website. And an hour and a half has gone by like that. I mean, it wasn't that quick. An hour and a half has gone by. Legend has it. We really like what you guys are doing. You guys have really solved some of the issues that have popped up since the thrill of the chase has ended. A lot of people have tried treasure hunts, and there's been a couple issues, and I think you guys have solved it with your treasure hunt. So congratulations for that. If anything, we'll see if you're a model on this treasure hunt. I believe you guys are going to do well, and that it works out. K-Pro, any last thoughts? I know we're going to transition over to the Forest Fen treasure found.
There's no way we can. There's no way we can.
Oh, you think it's too late?
I wouldn't. Well, yeah, because what we're going to talk about would take another. This was the short part of the night, and then the long part would be 2 hours of Forest Fen discussion. Hey, Mike, I say that maybe we go. I know we have kiddos this weekend, all the kiddos. I say we go on live this weekend because there is something so big that has happened. And now there is a team of people working on that as well. Oh my gosh, I have to be on a Zoom call. I get Zoom after this.
Zooms are happening. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's
All
some
right.
forest fence stuff that's happening that I think is going to get pretty big as well. But I think we wouldn't do it justice by talking about it tonight. So I think we need to parking lot that, because this got a little more wild and crazy. And
This
oh
one
my
got
gosh,
interesting. We're
you
talking
guys
up to the $1,400 already, and it's only 2 weeks old. Imagine where we could be 2 months from now. This could
Outcast,
easily go over $5,000 in my opinion.
Mike put the link in. Outcast is like, I'm looking for a new hunt. Go back and watch this, but you get into a prize pool. Copper Dan has some team, but you want to come over. You know what? Let's be friends. I know we've had issues in the past, but I know how good you are in treasure hunt. Come on over. Come on. No, we're going to have some fun with it. This is a new hunt that's going to be fun. And I'm close by. I can boots on the ground in a moment, in an instant. Come on, guys.
Close to Arizona.
Copper Dan, I think, is in Canada, right? I mean, he can't.
Canada, Minnesota, Canada. It's the same thing. All right, everybody. So we will save the Forest Fen discussion. We will go sometime live over the weekend. I know, K-Pro, it's going to happen. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you go subscribe to Legend Has It, their YouTube channel. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. We really do appreciate it. And share this video. If you know somebody that was involved in the Thrill of the Chase, they're down in the dumps. They're upset it's over. They want to work on something else. Forward them the video. Forward them this video. Forward them to legendhasit.net URL and say, hey, here's a new one you might be interested in. Andy, Nate, thank you for being on. And if you guys have any last words, we'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much for having us here. This has been a blast. It really has been. And
you got another buy-in from the room.
Hey, all right, yeah. The treasure chest value is increasing rapidly, so that should be some good incentive for anybody who is lagging behind right now. But yeah, thank you so much for having us here. This was a wonderful opportunity to get the word out to people who are just as crazy about treasure hunting as we are. Love this stuff. Our whole goal here is to bring back the thrill of the chase. I know it's not going to be the same as Forest Fen. We've got a twist. We did the treasure hunt with a twist, right? You're not searching for a physical treasure. You are searching for the key. We send you the money as soon as we get that key. You don't have to do anything else. It's ready to go in your bank account. So yeah, thank you again. Anybody who's interested, wants to learn more, we have more frequently asked questions on our website that you can see right here behind me. And let us know if you have any other questions. You can go to our website, send us fill out a contact form, ask us anything you like. Join us on Instagram or Facebook. We answer all the emails. We answer all of the questions that anybody sends us, and we've been having a blast doing it.
Okay, so we had another buy-in. It's awesome. Live in Vivid. I'm glad you are bought in. Outcast, I agree. We did not have issues. We had passionate opinions, and I'm passionate that you get on my team. And so everybody who is considering being on my team, please email me at kpro3@aol.com. All I ask is if you're bought in and you want to destroy Copper Dan, because that's what we do. It's all in good fun. I don't know. There might be shirts involved. There's going to be some rivalry, and this will be fun. It is actually all in good fun, so it will be a blast. I haven't really dove into another hunt. I tried to get in on some of the Zooms, on some of the things and all that. I mean, I saw Copper Dan's hunt. I just wasn't in Canada where he lives, and so I couldn't go and fight.
Go ahead, Nate. We'll give you the last word.
All right. Well, Andy really, wrapped it up nicely. I just wanted to add one more thing. Feel free to join us and follow us on social media. We're very active on Facebook and Instagram. Our handle is legendhasit.awesome, not _awesome. That was, we already had someone trying to imitate and troll. But legendhasit.awesome. We're very active, and feel free to ask us questions there as well. We're very open, and we're very happy to answer anything. Thank you for having us.
Nice.
And have fun, guys. Have fun.
That really is what it's all about. I would learn probably more than I ever knew about Arizona from this hunt. You know what I mean? You learn the history, et cetera. But we do invite you, Nate and Andy, to come back when you are ready to announce treasure hunt number 2. That's going to be huge. So come back on our channel and announce it and give us an update on this one. How many people have bought in? How many submissions? You know, as people work on this, they kind of like to know those kind of things. So yeah, feel free to come back whenever you want to give us an update. We appreciate you coming on. And it sounds like you have a really awesome hunt. And I hope somebody that's listening right now solves it at some point in the future. Okay, there it is.
Guys, there will not be a Zoom on this one tonight. I need a Zoom for the Forest Fen hunt. I'm the Zoomer. So there will not, I know you're excited. Mike will set up how we're doing it and all of that.
Sunday.
So,
I'm thinking Sunday we can do a Zoom on this. Yeah, we saw it. And just so you guys know, we do private Zooms for different treasure hunts for people that have bought in. We'll show your PDF. We'll go through it line by line and we'll get everybody's input on what they think. And it's still a winner take all. It's just people collaborate. And if anybody wants to do the boots on the ground, they can. So I'm thinking maybe Sunday. Don't hold me to that, but definitely reach out if you've purchased and you're interested in a private Zoom. I will try and make some time on Sunday that we could do that. And maybe we may make it a weekly thing. We'll see. We shall
Forest
see.
Fen, we will do a Forest Fen breaking news because there are a few things going on in the Forest Fen hunt sometime this weekend. You better hit the subscribe button because I can't tell you when it's going to be, because guess what? Might actually our middle boy turned 10 and we have him tomorrow. And so it's going to be a weekend packed full of, and guess what he asked for? Hey, Dad, can you hide my presents that you get me like in a little treasure hunt? I love it when you do that.
And write riddles to where they're located. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight, is working on those clues for sure.
Yeah, so thank you guys. This was a blast. We're going to have some fun. Take down Copper Dan, hashtag it, guys. Put it everywhere. Put it on Twitter. It needs to blow up. We're taking them down. Here we go.
Okay, Andy, Nate, thanks for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Legendhasit.net. Go there to get all the info, and we will see you guys next time.